Hello everyone, welcome to the 16-17 Federal Programs Update. Today we'll be learning about Title I program in specific. My name is Mr. Vamshi. Everyone calls me Mr. V, so I'm good that way. Just to give a quick update on overview on some of the roles that I do here at the district office, in case you need me for any services. A lot of the school leaders came to know me, and I came to know them during the leaders meeting last week. But if you are a Title I coordinator and you are doing all federal programs at your school level, you can reach me of any question you might have, but in specific to federal programs, Title I, Title II, Title III, Kate, IDA, finance, and homeless. Migrant, we do not have any migrant program, but I do take care of migrant programs too. But once we see in Power School that if there are any migrant children in our district, we'll definitely open up for training and other resources. Title One, it is federal funding for schools to make an impact on low-income families attending your school. We will go in detail on how you qualify and everything, but I just want to give you an update on what these titles mean. Title 3, Title 2, if you the previous everything changed in Title 2 this year because the funding was based on was given to two major needs. One is for highly qualified teachers to retain and hire highly qualified teachers and to provide high quality professional development. With the new we took the feds took away the highly qualified teacher requirement, so schools do not have to use the Title II money for highly qualified teachers. In my next session at 3, we will learn more about Title II and how it all plays out. Title III, we get this funding for support of English language learners. uh, the funding is very limited, and because in the Feds, an Office of Civil Rights says the services and the screening for English language learners is their basic civil right. So schools should not be receiving any additional funding for the services that they are required to provide for the children. Career and technology. We historically we only have two schools that have been receiving these funds, and these are the two schools that were a traditional, fully functioning high schools in a traditional school district that have transferred into the public charter school district. There is a webinar again this week, and all these webinars are recorded and are posted on the website. So you can always go and watch the webinars. And if your school is interested, definitely you can seek funds, but there is a long process for it, how to do it. So the webinar will give you more insight on it. IDF Finance, this is funds to serve special need population. The district special ed office takes care of the program, and they work with your school level special ed coordinators. But if it's funding related, I will definitely message it to your special coordinators and the district level special coordinators, and definitely reach out to the school leaders as needed. Homeless funds. We do not receive any homeless funds, but we set aside some money in Title One to serve this need, and the new law allows us to use Title One funds set aside at the district to meet the needs of homelessness, even if it's a non-Title One school. This is the schedule for this week, where we are providing webinars on Title One, Title Two, Title Three, Kate, ID, and homeless. Once this is done, once you go through this process and have a basic idea on what these programs are and how they impact your work, you as a school leader, if you are a school leader, you need to identify staff at the school level that you think will be capable to take on these responsibilities, because some responsibilities do take a lot of time. And if you're putting a teacher to do this, I don't know how, it all depends on the size of the school. We have schools that have only one grade level, so it's up to you, but the person who assigns has to meet certain requirement, not requirement, has to provide some requirements back to the district office and they have to communicate with a lot of people at the school. So just want to make sure you are aware of it. All these webinars will be recorded and will be posted on the bookshelf. That link should go out in the next operators meeting, operators notes. Just so you know, and as we all know, as school leaders, we have federal, when the term federal programs itself, the first thing people hear is about compliance, what we should not do when taking federal programs, dealing with federal programs. One thing I have never been so sure than now. What I think things that have happened in the past few months and what I've learned from those experiences, I said everything we have started doing a couple of years, trying to do desk audits, trying to work on the monitoring instrument and trying to work with the schools and turning those documentation. At that time, it's like you're just collecting it, and sometimes it may be work for the more work for the school, and I can promise you it's sometimes more work on our end, trying to review information from 32 schools and making sure, hey, this is not right, send me another one. It's sometimes more work on our end too, but I don't have any regrets. I actually should have done more. Every time we run into a situation where we get calls from the State Department or other folks, what we have done has just helped us. It has never failed us. I am very sure that our process is working. I'm very certain that that is the direction we have to go. It is good for the schools. It was good for the district office. It is good for the entire charter school movement because it shows that we are accountable for the funds we are receiving from the feds. It shows that we care for the children and we are doing right for the children, because if you are not using the funds wisely and if there are no process in place, that it means that you are not taking appropriate steps to make sure that the kids receive those funds. So I strongly believe than ever before that I think what we have done so far, all the audits, if it may be small, it may be big, but I think everything was for a reason, and I really believe that is the direction we have to go. And when I say that, I just want you all to know my work style and how, if you have worked with me in the past, it's not just compliance. We will throw it at you and we'll say, start doing this. There will be a huge amount of support given to you ahead of time and throughout the process. Uh, if it's phone calls or emails or webinars, making sure those are consistent, not keep changing the process all the time. Make sure that they are transparent. It's not that I'm hiding it something. When I'm asking something, I'll tell you why it's needed, what it will be used for, and will there be an outcome of it. So I will be very sure setting up those transparency and priorities for you. We will make sure we inform you before we enforce any policy or procedure. And every time we'll strive hard to document all the webinars presentations and put them on the bookshelf for you. So if in case you didn't attend this session today, I don't want you to miss anything. I want you to go back on the weekend or any evening and spend time watching the webinar. Title I program overview for 16-17 school year. This is going to be much intense than I initially planned, because I see that a lot of new faces in the leadership meeting, and I see that we have a lot of new Title I coordinators on board. So I want you to give you as much information as I can now, and we will do, and like I said, we'll do a Q&A, and also we will make sure we will do a regional meeting covering 1 or 2, 3 federal program components, so multiple coordinators can attend and get knowledge out of it. Title I programs, schools that were Title I for 15-16 school year, like last year, if you're in a Title I school, you can plan your Title I plan. If you look at your lunch counts, if you're looking at your school poverty numbers, you can, if you think you'll be at or above 40%, plan your activities for your Title I plan 10 or 20% or 15% lesser than what the allocation you received last year. This will help you to have a draft plan in hand, and once we let you know that you qualified for the Title I dollars for 16-17, you are ready to submit a plan. I'm hoping the new allocations after we run the 5th day count, Fifth day count is the count that the Power School office at the district office runs that report. Once the last school in the district opens, is the fifth day of that school, the district office runs a report that's called a fifth day report. And any child that has attended on your school, not on the last school that opened, on your school fifth day, it counts how many kids are active, how many kids are coded as free, reduced, and paid in Power School, and it pulls a report, and that's when you have to qualify for it or above 40% to receive federal dollars. All schools, including if you are a school that's providing lunch, if you're a school that's not providing lunch, please go to the bookshelf. On the Title One page of the bookshelf, you have the new updated lunch forms. You don't have to go back and change all the forms that you collected in the summer, but moving forward, I advise you to start using the lunch form that's on the bookshelf. Um, like I said, you need to work with your Power School. If you have 30 forms or 60 forms sitting on the main office and you did not code them in Power School, and if it's not in Power School, it does not exist. So please work with your Power School coordinator to make sure that information is coded appropriately in Power School. This information is already here. Lunch forms, like I said, if your school is providing lunch or not, you have to collect the lunch forms. Even if you're an online school, you have to, if it's an online application, I'm fine with it, but you have to collect that information. Uh, as a district, and this, like I said, this has been a very important lunch form because it dictates your poverty percentage. We make sure we verify with you. We will randomly send some student's name pulled from Power School, and we ask you to provide us a copy of the lunch form completed by the parent. You just have to provide us the copies of the lunch forms. Lunch forms have to be completed. I'm sorry, this is an old lunch form, but regardless, the lunch form has to be completely coded and dated and signed. It can't be, we cannot accept incomplete lunch forms. If it is an incomplete lunch form, please code it as full pay in Power School. But please do not assume, because if it's not on paper, it doesn't exist. Please make sure you get a complete lunch form and make sure you code it appropriately in Power School. Let's go around because we have a lot of new Title I coordinators. I just want to go with the background of ASEA and just give a purpose of why these funds, why we receive these funds, and how we should be spending these funds. Um, Title I is the first title in the ESSA of 1965. The purpose, and I think everyone who is in the education should know, it is the largest federal aid program for K to 12 schools. It was a war against poverty. Title I money was given to schools as a war against poverty. And I know after so many years, we still are on the same purpose and we are still fighting it. And the law has changed a lot, but I think I know it has brought a lot of opportunities to children. As I walk into the schools, I see there's so much difference that has happened. Even in the 4 years that I have seen, schools have done an amazing job using the Title I dollars they receive. They have updated their technology, updated their teaching staff, training their staff to meeting the needs of the children. Some amazing things. South Carolina receives around $200 million in Title I as Title I dollars. Last year, 17 schools qualified for the Title I program. The vast majority of funds that are allocated to school, like the state gives the money, state doesn't hold a lot of money. They give a huge chunk back to the districts, and especially in our district with the unique system that we are in, other than some salaries for the staff that's paid from Title I, and when I say equipment, very least amount set aside for equipment and supplies and professional development, that a major portion of the Title I dollars goes back to the school. We do not try to keep much money. We do not run any district set aside activities, summer school or preschool. We push every single dollar that we can back to the school so you have the autonomy to make your plans. And this not only the webinar but the PowerPoint is also will also be posted on the bookshelf. We work, though most of the decisions are made by the school leader, and I'll go in detail as we go towards the planning meetings and everything. I'll tell you how the plan should be developed. But the goal for a better operational purposes, the district works specifically with the school assigned Title I coordinators, and based on the size of the schools, we have school leaders who are Title I coordinators who come to our meetings, attend the webinars, have regular communication with me and with the finance. But we work with Title I coordinators. They play a major role, and these are the Title I coordinators. We work on a day-to-day, sharing any updates on the law and the regulations and guidance. So make sure your Title I coordinators are ready to do this job. Your assigned Title I coordinator will have multiple opportunities to learn. We do like webinars, send emails of any updates. But also this year we like everyone, if you are interested, to send your school Title I coordinator to the state SCATA conference, where they can meet a lot of amazing Title I coordinators who will be coming across the state, and they can learn from them. It's a great conference. So in the past, I used to go to the conference. I'm still going to the conference. I come back and share that information with everyone. But I think it's time for us to open it to all schools. If you all decide and put it in the plan that that's the need, that you want your Title I program to grow, send your Title I coordinator to the SCATA conference. That information was sent in last week's operator notes. So your tips to survive, if you want your Title I coordinator to survive, and the best way to do is steal what you don't have and share what you have. It's a simple trick that I use all the time. If I don't know, I pick up my phone, call multiple people. If I have something, I'll make sure I share that with the others. So these are some tips for your Title I coordinator to survive. Let's talk a little bit about ESSA. Every Student Succeed Act, the state is still learning it. We are trying to learn with the state. The state is constantly working with us, and we have a great relationship with the state, as I have mentioned multiple times. The state will provide us any updates or how they want to transition into ESSA, and they are trying to, because 16-17 will be the transition year. They are working with us, and I am on the committee of practitioners at the State Department, so I sit with them when they're having these conversations, and anytime I have an update, I'll make sure I share that with you. As you could see, ESSA law also support the profile of the South Carolina graduate. This is the timeline. December 15, 2015, it was signed into law, and this year, 16-17, will be the transition year, and the state is working on a transition plan, and I will keep you posted on any update that I receive. Just a quick update. I know we talk about, hey, we want to implement a program at our school, and we don't have money. Can we get Title I money? Hey, we have 30 new students into the school. Can we have Title I money? I get these questions all the time. I just want to send a reminder. The only base that you can poverty is the only factor on which district may determine funding. There is no other way. That is the only way. So I just want to, and we can't do it each month or every district. It's across the nation. Some in a traditional school district, they use the 135th day count. In our district, we use the 5th day count, but poverty is the only factor on which we determine the funding. School-wide plans. There are two types of Title I programs. One is targeted assistance. In your school, if you are 35% or above poverty at your school, you can receive targeted assistance. It means the group or a subgroup of kids that need assistance, your funds can be only used to that group. You cannot use your funding to the rest of the group. But most likely, as long as the funding allows us, we want well, unless we get a huge amount of money and we do some targeted assistance programs. The historically we've been using funding school-wide programs. School-wide programs, like I said, any school that's at or above 40% poverty, we will be operating a school-wide Title I program. A school-wide Title I program is designated to upgrade the entire educational program. If you want to target your sixth grade, seventh grade, it's upon the needs, and I'll go in detail about the needs, but it's about the needs of the school, and you can use $1 to support that need. It's not just on one group of kids or 10 group of, it's for the entire school operations. You get maximum flexibility once you go to maximum flexibility, like in targeted assistance. If you buy a computer for that group of students, you need to use a computer for that group of students. But in a school-wide program, it's for every child. Of course, it's for every child. You can have a computer lab, and the entire school can use the computer lab. It's a historically I have seen this work, and school-wide programs use autonomy. You can use your autonomy to use school-wide program to make huge impact and changes at your school level using Title I dollars. The, when I say make changes, I always wanted two assistant principals. Can I do that? No, you can't. Or maybe you can, but the only way we can decide that factor is with your comprehensive needs assessment. Every school, one of the main component of Title I program, and as says that, is you need to have a comprehensive needs assessment. You need to, and I think it will go in detail into comprehensive needs, but you need to have a need why you're using these funds for that assistant principal. Where is the need, and is it reasonable? Then you ask the question, is it reasonable? And then you ask the question, is it allowable? So these are the three questions I ask myself whenever a school asks me, can I do it? Is it in your need? Is it allowable? Is it reasonable? Comprehensive school-wide plan, and I'm not going to read everything, but like I said, this is PowerPoint will be posted on the bookshelf. You can use your comprehensive school-wide plan to strengthen your academic, professional development, attract highly qualified teachers, uh, parent engagement, data-driven decision making. So a lot of good stuff can happen with school-wide programs. But like I said, one of the components for us is after you're done with your program, you have to evaluate the program. Did you spend funds wisely? Did that funds meet the need? So there's an annual evaluation component to it. And like I said, this PowerPoint will be on the website for you to review. And this is me, and I only go with this first. Whenever a school asks me, can I do it? My first question will be, what do you, and even when you, as a charter school by yourself, when you say we want to open a charter school in this part of the city, the first question is what is the need in the community? The same with Title One. When we want to spend this money on hiring 5 math teachers, you need to have a need and you have to show and document that you had a need. So to implement a school-wide program, you need to have a comprehensive needs assessment and have a comprehensive needs assessment plan and review the plan annually to make sure that you did how good you did with the plan. What is a comprehensive needs assessment and why it's important? Like I said, it's a first step in developing a school-wide or school improvement plan. To develop your school-wide Title I plan, you need to have a comprehensive needs assessment. Like it is legislated by every Student Succeed Act. If you I think this picture clearly emphasizes the need of a comprehensive needs assessment. We have 10 teachers asking, I need supplies. We have 3 teachers asking, I need a teacher assistant and a paraprofessional. You have your assistant principal telling that, hey, I have a nice software program that I used in another school that could make a difference. You need to bring all of them together at one place, and we have to make decisions on the best, which will have the most impact on the needs, which will have a more impact on the children. So that's where your needs assessment and your planning comes into place. uh, a lot of people ask me like who should be a part of the process, and I get calls like my board wants to do this, my principal wants to do this, I want to do this, a teacher said this is a good thing. With Title One, it has to be everyone, all stakeholders. I can never make a decision, just so you know. And the school leader should never be saying that I want to do this, or my board wants me to do this. Absolutely not. For any successful, and as a school leaders, you all know this. For any program to succeed at your school, you need the buy-in from everyone. The same with Title One. If that activity, if you are spending $30,000 getting a paraprofessional for your second grade classroom, that should be an output of this meeting where you have your faculty and staff, parents and family members, district school and district administrators. In your case, assistant principal and principal can be part of it. I can be a part of it if you want me to. But I just provide technical assistance. I can tell you only if it's allowable and reasonable, but you and your leadership team will be the part of it. Your students, if your high school have your students, they will tell you, hey, I need this. I think this is the class where we need more help. I think we need more computers. I think our iPads that you gave us are not working because there is poor network in the school building. Talk to your students. Have your high school students sit in the meetings. If you have any community partners, if McDonald's is giving you gift cards every month, invite them, let them be a part of it, how better they can help you. If you are having a reinforcement plan set up in your a stipend plan, like a gift card for your teachers at the end of the year to teacher supplies. If you have someone in your community says, I will cover that, use that money for something else. You need to have everyone involved to develop your needs assessment. In the past, the culture, the tone we received when I first started federal programs, which is way long ago, 5 years ago, is just focus your Title One activities on ELA and math. That was the mindset that was laid out to us. But a change of leadership, and I think we have some amazing state folks that wants to do the right thing and give us more guidance on it. So I think they have expanded the use and made it more flexible for us. They can use Title One dollars for English, math, science, social studies, but as long as you could show the need, parent and community engagement, safe environment, leadership, professional learning. Like I said, every school-wide activity that you put in your plan should connect back to the needs assessment. And this PowerPoint will be available on the bookshelf. The ultimate goal of the comprehensive needs assessment is increased student performance. Uh, it makes sense. Time for lunch. And I promise, I didn't, I just didn't put it up there. This was my sometimes we see it, I see it all the time. Hey, Mr. B, I went to this conference, I saw it at that school, I want to put this in our school, can we do it? Like I said, your school has its own autonomy, you can make the decision. But I always try to tell schools is, pilot it at one class or with 10 kids or 15 kids. Test if that system actually works in your school. If I copy and paste a PowerPoint and try to use that, I have to at least make sure that I have to delete the slide that shouldn't be here. I was just trying to make a point here is when you're taking programs or doing something new that you saw it somewhere, before do some research. Make sure you have done your due diligence and making sure that this will actually fit in your school model, because one system or one model that works in another one school may not, and we all know this not working in your school may work, but I think make sure you do some good research before you do that. Allowable use of Title I funds. Seriously, there is no set book or rules and process that says that, hey, what's allowable and what's not allowable. And I know there's some here and there's some on the bookshelf, but I'll just say this. We are unique and we are in a different situation. If you have a specific question, always reach out to me. But I always say, if it's required, a simple question you have to ask is, I want to pay a portion of my school leader's salary with Title I. He is getting 60, I want to make it 70. Can I do it? A simple question I ask, is the school leader position essential or required for that school? If the answer is yes, you cannot use Title I dollars. I want to hire a teacher for my fifth grade classroom. How many kids are in the classroom? 10. Do we need 10? Yes. No, you don't need an extra teacher. I have 60 kids in the classroom, and based on the data I have, the kids are not doing well. This is the test scores. We need to have an additional teacher to have an additional fifth grade class. Absolutely, you can use Title I dollars. I think what I'm trying to tell you is, if it is required by law, you cannot use Title I dollars for it. Title I dollars may say you can't use it for transportation, but charter schools do not have transportation. But if you have a system based on your needs, you want to do something and some of your money needs to go to transportation, absolutely. But like I said, work with me if you have specific questions, and we will go on by case situation, and we can make it work. Virtual schools, online schools, if they say, I want to buy 100 laptops, absolutely no. Because they say the program works on a computer, that is a required component. They can't do it, and most virtual schools have never asked for it. It's just an example. Salaries and benefits. And just because when you see here allowable, don't think that we can have 5 more teachers and put. We need to have a need. And are you doing classroom reduction? Why are you breaking down those classrooms, and why do you need more salaries and benefits? But it's just an overview on telling what is allowable. Professional development, absolutely, above and beyond instructional supplies and materials. And just a thought, like when you say supplies, my heart just goes out to some plans. We have supplies for $100, $200, and $300. It's up to your plan. You can do it, but think about it. The impact of that money, $300. Make sure you use your Title I dollars to where you can point your finger at the end of the day and say, hey, this is where I put my Title I money, and see what an impact it has created. So make sure you use your funds wisely rather than breaking down into 100 different activities and everything that comes up. And at the end of the day, you really cannot evaluate the process. Like I said, you need every expenditure directly supports student achievement. If you are buying an iPad, you need to tell me how that iPad is going to impact student achievement. Supplement, not supplant, and I think that we just spoke about it. Um, if it is required, federal dollars cannot be used to take care of the required need. Excuse assistant principal, you can in some schools you need an assistant principal, maybe a Title I coordinator, and for that, if for that assistant principal, who's part of that assistant principal's role is a Title I coordinator, absolutely you can. But if you are getting $60,000 as your Title I allocation, you can't put $20,000 for as Title I coordinator salary. Trust me, I have seen it happen. So please make sure how you use your Title I dollars and make if they're required. A simple question: is it required? Then don't use Title I dollars. And that language mostly and like I said, sometimes it changes. The supplement not supplant rule says if you have used other federal program in the past, you can't use Title I dollars now. But always call us if you have any questions. And our plans are mostly decent. It mostly goes for teacher salaries and interventionist and technology. So most are very reasonable, unless maybe one or two I question them and check with the state. But mostly we have really good, decent plans, and I will work you with the while your development of your plan. Like I said, is it required by state federal regulation? I want you to have this information. So when you're looking at the information, I want you all to have that with you. Um, when I say schools cannot, I'm talking about the federal accountability requirements. There are requirements that I have to turn into the state or to the Fed sometime. One school sometimes holds the all other school. One school not responding to email, not checking the email, not picking up the calls. I cannot send 31 reports. It has to be 32 reports because it may be a huge school and the data may look different without that school. So please, if you are doing the Title I coordinator role, or if you have someone doing it, please make sure that you look at the deadline, set your time, allocate your time. And sometimes things happen, and our family comes first. If you have that, please just shoot me an email or let me know so I can prepare myself or the state or the Fed, letting them know, hey, we have this issue going on, and I can ask for an extension. But if you don't respond even on the last day, yeah, it's just problematic and doesn't look good for our office, for you, and the whole charter school movement. So please just call us and let me know, email and let me know if you really are into running into any issues. Document, 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 and each year I hear this once or twice. We change a person. We don't have that information. We don't have that person anymore. We can't have you that. That federal programs or any school should not. It should be a process based, not a person based. You have to have a process where it's documented monthly, quarterly, where you have that information. Losing a person should not stop the process. So have the systems in place where you have something documented. A school leader, I don't expect some of the school leaders do like a million things at school. I don't expect them to know ins and outs of Title One, but as long as they could point their finger on whom to go, where to go, when needed, I think the least knowledge they need to have is where they need to go. Of course, they are part of the planning meeting and they're part of the comprehensive plan, but paperwork and everything, they should have some idea whom to go, where to go. Amendments, well, we will send you a notice on we'll have a one-time amendment process. If you plan for 5 teachers and you could never hire the teacher that you want, we can always move the money from that teacher salary to something else based on your needs. But we will let you know more about the amendment process. Once your plan is approved, we will let you know about your amendment process. This talks about what all amendments you can do. I just want to let you know, if you receive $100,000 this year and you did not spend $20,000, that 20,000 remaining $20,000 is not coming back in the next year allocation. That money comes back to the district part. We put everything together and we reallocate the funds. When we reallocate the funds back to the schools, it goes into that allocation and goes back to the school. But the remaining $20,000 is not coming back to you. My advice: spend the money. 95% of our schools, 98% of our schools spend the money. We have schools historically that have you only spent like 4% of the money or 6% of the total allocation. I know schools struggle, small schools, because of federal funds are reimbursable. You can't get the money before you spend it. But these are dollars, these are services for the children. I think you have to find a way because these funds bring in more services and opportunities for the children, and the money is not coming back to you the next year. So the best advice is let's spend the money. And if you're looking for innovative ideas, I know you have your autonomy, but if you want to look for more ideas, call other schools. Hey, how differently can I spend? Call me. I can put in touch with you as someone who has done this, or I can share some insight. But of course, you can go back and decide as a team what you want to do. But we can always share ideas on how to spend, how effective you can spend the money. But kindly spend the money. Like I said, you for at least 3 years, I go through this all the time. We lost this person. We do not have this. So make sure that you retain your all the deposit, all the records for your school at least for 3 years. Uh, Time and effort. Once I go into the program, I will go in detail with it. But this is one of the biggest tasks for your Title I coordinator. We have to document the time spent. If you have a teacher or a Title I coordinator that's paid from Title I funds, you have to document the time they spent on the program. Uh, Semi-annual. If this mostly this is for teachers. If they are paid 100%, their entire salary is paid from Title I, and they just do that job. They are teaching ELA, and they just teach ELA, and they have a schedule that shows that they're in Power School. I can pull it off where it shows that he is a teacher. He does just that. They do not have to do a timely daily sheet. For me, I do a daily sheet. Every day I have to record what I am doing and the time I spent on it. Because I don't have a fixed schedule, I can come here planning to work on Title II, and I can totally work on IDA that day. So make sure if you are 100% paid from Title I, you need to just use the semi-annual certification. Multiple cost. We have some teachers who are part-time Title I. In the morning they teach ELA with general funds, and in the evening in the afternoon they may teach science or social studies, and they get for Title I. So for staff who have multiple funding sources, they use something called a multiple cost objective. You can do it monthly, weekly, but we need to have this documentation showing that how much percentage coming from Title I, how much, like a special education teacher, they might be part-time special ed and part-time Title I. So we need to document that, and such employees are supposed to complete the multiple cost objective. The schedule for the employees is required. We need to have a schedule to show that this is part of the job they are there. And I'll show you in detail on another document what else documents we need. This is for someone like an assistant principal or myself, or at the school leadership. If you have a curriculum person who does a lot than just one job, who doesn't have a fixed schedule, they enter and all these samples are on the bookshelf. Uh, what they do is they enter a timely sheet every day. This is what I have done for Title I. This is what I have done for IDA. And the only time auditors write us up when we don't, it's strange. I know we all do, and I got written up too. Uh, though we work above and beyond more than, I know principals who call me at 10 o'clock in the night, and they have a work related question. I know they are working. I got calls on Sundays. Sometimes they are just working. But like I said, if it's not on paper, feds don't care how many times you call. All they care is, do you have a piece of paper that shows it? So, and I don't blame them. We are receiving federal funds, and you accept it when you're taking federal funds. We sign assurances that can take us to court. So we say that we will do this, so we have to do it. So if you are in those roles where you don't have a fixed schedule, um, and you get funding from multiple sources. This is where you do it. Log in your time every day, and the sample, a neat Excel spreadsheet sample is on the bookshelf. This is, I wish I could see, I wish you all could see me dance now. But the HQ letters, we don't have to do HQ letters anymore. The ESSA new law took the HQ requirement off. You don't even have to hire highly qualified teachers. You need certified teachers. And the whole charter school flexibility. I hope you all got a letter, and if not, I can shoot you an email, or I'm sure I'll put it on the bookshelf. You don't have to send HQ letters. In the past, if we have a teacher that's teaching a core class more than 4 weeks, the school was supposed to send a HQ, highly qualified letter to the parents. You don't have to do that requirement anymore. Paraprofessionals, you need to have highly qualified paraprofessionals at your school. That requirement did not change. But the two requirements of paraprofessionals are, you need to have a documentation that they are highly qualified. Uh, and also this is the second requirement, is they need to work under a highly qualified teacher. But based on the new ESSA, they don't have to work under a highly qualified teacher. They have to just work under a certified teacher, a highly skilled teacher who's skilled in. You need to have the documentation. How did she go through the ADEPT process? Did she teach somewhere else with 10 years experience? You just have to show evidence that they are working under a certified teacher. Who are paraprofessionals? It's right here. Provide one-on-one instruction, instructional assistance in computer lab. This is a paraprofessional. How paraprofessionals and highly, I get this question all the time. How can paraprofessionals be highly qualified? All paraprofessionals must, if you have paraprofessionals in a in a Title I school, they need to have a secondary school diploma or its equivalent, a recognized equivalent. They have a test on the State Department website where they can take the test and pass, that shows that they are qualified. So these are some ways where the paraprofessional can be highly qualified. The PowerPoint will be on the bookshelf for you to review. Per diem rates, your board has to come up with a policy. If I am going to a conference, I'm going to a conference in October. It's Title I conference. All Title I coordinators from the state will be there. So I go there every year. The district can make a policy and say any additional cost we will pay from. If the hotel is $200, you can go to the gsa.webcom website and say, on this day of the month, how much money, federal dollars, can be used on the hotel. And if the website says $150 and the hotel is $200, you will use general funds to pay that additional $50. Unless in my case, the district has to make a decision what they will do. Will they let general ed pay for it, or I have to take permission from the State Department? Can federal funds pay for it? It's an internal control. The district can always say, if you are going to a Title I related event, Title I can pay for it. It always is to have a written policy on what you will do. But if you don't have a written policy, you will get dinged during an audit. So kindly, when you travel, make sure you check with the website. You cannot go spend $600 on a hotel and not looking at the GSA website. You cannot pay $600 with Title I dollars or IDEA or any federal dollars. You have to make sure with Title II, you do a lot of professional development. You have to look at this information before you book a hotel and actually ask them, hey, we work for the state government. Is there a rate that we can go with? And most hotels do try to work with us. Each year, and like I told you, I have never been happier. This is an amazing process. I am more confident than ever. Every year we ask the schools to send us a binder. And like I said, we are working on something else. If that works out, I'll try to make it online rather than sending a binder. No promises, but I'm working towards it. I'm working with the district leadership. So if that works out, I'll try to create an online system. But I still think the paper system still is available at your school. You should be documenting. All you need to do is give me a copy of it. For all the schools that have turned in this year, I cannot tell you how thankful I am, how proud I am. You make the whole movement look good. You make the charter school looks good. When I look at the binders, the quality of it, the time you spent on it, is just amazing. Whenever auditors come to a district, and all federal, we get audited every year, they are just amazed to see the kind of paperwork and the pride in you take in doing those binders. It just shows what a quality school you are. It just shows what kind of quality of education you are giving to the children. So I just want to thank everyone that has turned in the binders, and if anyone that has notified me in the email, I'm sure everyone has turned in their binders already. But just want to let you know it's an amazing process at the end of the year. And if you're a new school, and I'll show you some pictures too, what I'm talking about. Every year, the schools turn me a binder based on the Title I plan. By each activity, they give me the receipts, invoices, all kind of documentation. So I have with me, if any auditor calls, I don't have to hunt you, because we have school leaders changing, we have Title I coordinators changing. I know they have someone working with that, but when someone asks me something, I want to give them the response in a reasonable time. So it helps me having the information with me. And I go through every year. I go through it, and I have a report on every school. I do when I see red flags, I ask them and get clarification on it. So it has been a good process. I choose. I let the school choose how they want to turn in their information in a crate or a binders or however they want to. But everyone has gives me in a three-ring binders in a neatly organized way. Uh, Bills, purchase orders, they put dividers between each. They highlight the expense on a because in the past I used to get a huge credit statement and I had to look for that $90. But now it got better. Schools highlight the dollar amount when they say it, so it's easy for me to look at. Uh, like I said, they some instructions on how to do it. As we go forward, we will do more sessions. I'll bring some samples when I do the face-to-face regional meetings. I'll bring some. If you are new, you can always look at them. But overall, every year, even new schools do an amazing job turning their binders to me. I have some good examples with me. When you come or visit my office, drop by and look at them. And organizing the way strategy one, strategy two, and they put all the bills behind it. It's phenomenal. It's much easier. And this is my style of doing things, and I think it helps us a lot. And I think as school leaders, you feel the same way. You don't want your teacher to teach when you are observing the classroom. Kids will not respect the teacher if the teacher gets up and start teaching the moment the school leader walks into the classroom. If I am teaching every day, I'm standing every day, I'm teaching every day, the kids will respect regardless if the principal is in the classroom or not. I do not want to collect something just for the sake when the auditors are coming. It's not good for you, it's not good for me, but this is a process. And where we have system built in that is comedian, I don't care about the audits. They can come and go, but I trust my schools that they are doing an amazing job, and I can stand up and to the auditors and say this is not something. If that is something new, every year we add something new to the audit requirements based on the audit findings. But we will improve. If we didn't have it, write us up. We will try to do it and bring it in a new process and do it. But I just don't want to do it because of the auditors. I want to do it because it's a healthy process. We are on phase with everyone. Like no one has to tell me. I am not surprised. If someone tells me about a school, I am not surprised. I have already working with you. These are the issues that I found with. We are working to. That's where I want to be. I just don't want to be surprised. So, and I just want to let you know, I have never got a pushback from any of you. You're doing an amazing job. So, just want to thank you all, Title One, and everyone involved. Your finance people, I know they bent backwards to give me this information. Like travel, like even like mileage reimbursement. This is where this binder gets amazing. Is schools print out if they are traveling to somewhere, they print the flight tickets. They give me like if they're driving, they give the mileage, like the print from MapQuest to see how many miles and how it was reimbursed. It's fair. It's black and white. Auditor should have no problem with it. As you know, the district is working so hard on the school performance framework, and federal funds are part of a component of performance framework. What I want to do is I want to do it on how and where, and I'm still to have a better system of. We did Dropbox. Dropbox was amazing. One challenge run into all the time is if the school keeps updating those forms, and if I don't know, I know a small notification comes and goes, but if they change the document after I reviewed, I have no way of knowing it. So just coming with trying to find a system where it's documented, where I reviewed, I provide feedback, and it's there. No one will touch it. So working on trying to find a system like that, which is much easier. Once that's done, I will tell you. Once I make things easier for you and me of sharing this document collection, I will have conversation about how we will, and I will work with you. We'll start a small group, and everyone can be. It can be a large group. It can be everyone, and we will talk about how each will be rated, and I'll work with you on it. And if you know my work style, you know I work with you, every one of you and get feedback. And we have changed the program like any other program I've seen. Your feedback is very crucial. Anything that you don't like, tell me. As long as it's in the parameters of Title I operations and programs, we will change it and make it easier for you. So I'm not done. The Title I monitoring checklist, I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm sorry. This is not a completely the checklist. I'm still working on it. Like I said, I still need to decide how I will collect this information. Once that's done, I'll put it on the bookshelf. If you could see here, the first component in May or July, May to July, regardless of you get the Title I funds or not, even for Title II or any profession, I think at any school will have a comprehensive needs assessment. So May and June, between May and July, a school should have a comprehensive needs assessment. There is a guide. I got when I first came, I spent so much time building a handbook, but I don't want to do handbooks anymore because if you keep doing the same thing over that we've been doing so long, we cannot expect change to come. So I got rid of the handbook, and this is what we'll be using as a Title I monitoring checklist. So this is a requirement. You need to have the comprehensive needs assessment. This will be turned into me, and I'll tell you how once we decide as a district. The guidance is right here. You can click it. It's a hyperlink. You open the document, and the guidance is right there. After you have been identified as a Title I school and you will receive Title I dollars, you will conduct a planning meeting. And as I told you, the planning meeting guidelines are here. In the next step, we'll talk about annual meeting. I'll tell you what an annual meeting is. Planning meeting is where you have all the stakeholder input, your school staff, administration, parents, and make decisions on how, okay, I got 100,000 with me, how to best use this $100,000 and making a difference at your school, and that should have outcomes, good student outcomes. So that's where you have this planning meeting. It has to be, these are the required. You need to have an announcement. You can't just have a meeting. You need to have an announcement. Put it on Facebook. Put it on your website. Send a principal email. Put it on your newsletter. Some schools have gone and put it on the newspaper. You need to have an agenda. It can't be have a parent night and you have everything, and it can't be just one topic. Yes, you can, but make sure you give real emphasis on what that meeting is so people can actually show up. You have a sign-in sheet. You need to have a sign-in sheet, and it cannot be all staff. It has to be the people that are involved. Notes for meeting. Someone need to take notes of the meeting on what has been discussed and what has happened, and what's the outcome of the meeting. By end of September, and just so you know, it sounds crazy when you look at this timeline. If you go to any 99.9 part of this traditional school districts, the whole timeline is different. This is a custom timeline, and the state agreed to work with us on it because in a traditional school district, a Title I is identified, a school is identified if they receive Title I or dollars or not, sometime in October, November after their 135th day count. In our district, as we are having new schools each year and schools expanding, last year a school jumped for added more than 300 kids. A school added more than 5 grade levels, and I cannot. And I know I did some. We did something different last year that didn't work out. I promise that didn't work out because the high amount of the number of kids that we had after the fifth day count based on 135th day count, fair share amount of dollars to go to all schools. I think the fifth day count, I know some schools may not like it. We can talk about, but I think, like I said, if you were at one school last year, plan ahead. If you know you'll be Title I for next year, plan, take off 10 to 15% what you received last year and plan. But for the dollars, I think the fifth day count is one thing that will help us because that will give a fair share amount to all schools. So usually in a traditional school system, public school system, the planning meeting happens sometime in summer. But because we do something called a fifth day, which is non-traditional, we will do it sometime after we let you know that you received Title I dollars and you are a Title I school. And right after the planning meeting, you will have an annual meeting. And annual meeting, so it should be here somewhere. Okay, annual meeting, and I'll go there in a minute. After the planning meeting, you go ahead and start putting your plan, and I will give you access if you are a new school. This is the first time our new schools are already on the state system. You can there is an access information on the bookshelf, and I'll work with you. If you're a new school, you are identified as a Title I school, I will make sure you get all the access, and you put your how to put the plan in the system. Non-discrimination statement, I should even take it off from here. All public schools should have a non-discrimination statement on the website. So please make sure that you have your non-discrimination. If you and trust me, we had schools that didn't have it. I mean, it's not intentional. They updated the website and they lost it. So please make sure you have it updated on your website. And if you have, it's always good to have titles rather than people name on the disclaimer or non-discrimination statement because people change, titles don't most likely. So make sure you have the non-discrimination statement on your website. And these are the due date. These are the date that we expect you to turn in that information, or at least, like I said, I will talk more about the due dates once we decide on a system. The parent involvement policy, and this is not something I sat on a Saturday and made things up. If you go to any federal guidance, it will say these are the required components a school should do if you are receiving Title I dollars. Parent involvement policy, and I don't. My work style is not like a postman. I I don't get information and give it to you. I break it down, dissect it, and give you what enough for you what you need. So parent involvement policy, you just don't have to do anything. The sample parent involvement policy is right here. You download it, use the checklist whether you have all components. Sometimes your school may be the most unique school in the entire country. Add those components. A school compact, it doesn't have to be signed, but it has to be something that has to go out to the parents. So make sure you get this done. You distribute to your parents in the first week of school. Once you are identified as a Title I school, send it out. As long as you have a copy that you sent it out, that's good documentation. A sample is already here. Parent right to know letter. In every school is teacher, and I get calls all the time. Mr. B, we don't know what this teacher is. We don't know what I don't know anything about this teacher, about this school. A parent has the right to always come and ask you, hey, what are the qualifications of this teacher? What are the credentials? Can I see it? So they can always do it. So this is a sample that you let the school parent know that, hey, anytime you have a question, you can always ask the qualifications of the teacher or the paraprofessional. Annual meeting, this is where you have your meeting and talk to the parents, community, and explain them what you put in the plan, why you put it in the plan, because not everyone may show up for the planning meeting. But this is where you put the plan on the website, the approved plan, put it on the website. This is just a suggestion, but I think it will be fair, transparent. Put it on the plan. We will put all Title I plans on our website so that you can just share that link with everyone. But make sure that you have this meeting where you document that you have shared everything with the parent community. Principal attestation letter, it is just saying that you will meet all the requirements as requested by the law or required by the law. The sample is here. You just download it and sign it. Lunch forms, we will come with a deadline. We just want to see how effectively we can do this, to see that you don't get too much time involved in it, and I don't get much time involved in reviewing it. But we will send you a list of students who are randomly pulled from PowerSchool, and ask you to send us the sample, the copy of the lunch form that the parent turned in, and the district of residence. The district of residence is something when the state gives us the Title I dollars, we send the kids enrolled in our school and the district of residence code that's coded in PowerSchool. What Title I does it, because the child moved from such and such county to your school, they will take the money allocation set aside from that school to come to our district. So district of residence is a huge component for Title I allocation. So the list of kids that we send for the lunch form, we ask you to provide the lunch form and under your PowerSchool statement where you coded them as district of residence. I will pull all that information from PowerSchool and send it to you. What you need to send me is a copy of the lunch form and a residential street address. There is a district of residence requirements. Once you click that link, you will have all the requirements. You need to provide me a copy of a power bill, water bill, driving license to show that that is the address you chose and you coded in PowerSchool. And that's where the student is coming from. List of teachers paid by Title I. Once the plan is approved, if you have staff, if you do not have staff in your Title I plan, you do not have to worry about it. But if you have staff in Title I plan, you need to give me a list of staff, teachers that are paid from Title I. Why? Because in a traditional school district, the district office finance person will have all the information. I do not have all that information. I need that information from you and I'll tell you as we go, you will know why. Then we will have job descriptions. Job descriptions of the Title I teachers that you are paying. We need to know that you hired the teacher because the job description should not say assistant principal in gardening. It should say instruction or doing something that's in the plan, and that's what you're paying the money for. Employment contract and agreements, like I said, we keep adding this information based on the audit reports that we get from each year. What happened in the past is we got the list of teachers. We never, until 2 years ago, we never collected job description. This is the first year we're asking. Second year we are asking the job description and the contract, because the teachers are hired, but they do not have a job description, what they will be doing. And the contract, if they're saying that they're giving $50,000 in the contract, and the Title I plan they say $30,000, or Title I says $80,000, there is a difference in what they're putting in the plan, in the contract. So everything has to match. So we are asking for job descriptions and employment agreements or contract to make sure that all this is matching. And this is not something I made up. This is coming from after an audit from one of our district auditors 2 years ago. Salary split. We ask schools to give us a spreadsheet. There are samples here. One sample, it tells us clearly that part-time, 50% of that employee is IDA, serving students with special needs, and the half day is serving Title I math. And the job contract should say that this teacher is hired based on $60,000 and to teach part-time math and part-time uh, students with disabilities. The job description should give a description of how the teacher is going to teach students with disabilities and teaching math. When you say list of teachers paid by Title I, you give me the name of the teacher and it should have a salary split 50% Title I, 50% IDA. If it doesn't make any sense, I can do one more webinar and explain you in detail. Highly qualified verification. In the past, we used to do it, like I said, I put the comments here that we don't have to do highly qualified verification. I cannot tell you how happy I am that we don't have to deal with this, uh, because this has been a huge pain, because the state never said, as of today, do not have the report from the state on the HQ report. We get a HQ report on the qualifications of teachers. I do not have the report yet, and trying to work with the schools to making sure you send the HQ letters or not was really tough. So I'm glad we don't have to deal with that anymore. Like as I mentioned earlier, we do not have to send the HQ letters. I will take it off it, clean up everything, and post it on the bookshelf. I want to y'all to see that I took it off and it's no more there. So once I put it off, once it's updated and it's on the new bookshelf, you will not see any of this. Parent survey, we are one of the school district in the state that gets more than 2,000, 3,000 parents completed surveys. Thanks to virtual schools, and our brick and mortars do an amazing job. They put the survey in the computer lab. They let the parents come and do it. If you are a school and if you are a school and if you want to use a whole different uh, survey, you're free to do it. I have no problem. But look at the survey and make sure that you have certain questions that I'm asking for. Time and effort documentation, we talked about it. And if you click the link here, all those samples are on the bookshelf. So always click that link and you get all samples downloaded. You don't have to create anything. You just download it and fill that information. Professional development activities, if you have any professional development that you are using to improve the student achievement at your school, have all the documentation. It shows that sometimes the school is going above and beyond. So have all the documentation available at your school. Parent involvement, any parent night, even if sometimes it's parent night spent by Title I funds, where you do a book study or some, but have all the parent involvement activities at one folder, at a binder at your school. Equipment, one quick change. In the past, we used to ask the schools to notify us when you're purchasing the equipment. We want the schools to have complete autonomy. You don't have to notify us when you are purchasing the equipment. All we ask you is once don't seek reimbursement. If you buy 10 laptops, don't just submit an invoice and seek reimbursement. Let the equipment reach your school, let them land at your school, take it off, and once it's there, you cannot seek reimbursement for purchasing. They have to be delivered before you seek reimbursement. So that's one thing I heard from one or two schools, that we are waiting on the equipment. Um, so please kindly go ahead and submit that reimbursement after the equipment is delivered. And at the end of the year, we will send you a equipment inventory template. Complete that based on all the equipment that you have purchased for that year, and send it back to us. I think that is one huge shift this year. You don't have to ask us to purchase technology. We will take the form off. All you have to do is at the end of the year, once you purchase all the technology, I will give you a spreadsheet on what's needed. Send me all that information. So when UTS come to us, I will share that spreadsheet with them, and they can come back and scan all your items that were purchased from Title I, and they'll give you a barcode, a federal programs barcode. Paraprofessional documentation, we talked about it. If you click this link, I hope it works. This is where paraprofessionals can go and take a test and to be highly qualified. Of course, they have to meet the minimum requirements, but to be highly qualified, either they have to meet these requirements or they have to go back and take a test. Annual evaluation is a simple document. All you have to do is tell at the end of the year, review how your program was last year. Was it good? Was it effective? Did the results are what you thought it will be? just for you to take it back to your planning meeting and say, hey, this is where we put the money and it didn't work out. Title I fiscal audit, we talked about it. This audit talks about all the requirements, the receipts and everything. July 20th of each year, at the end of after the fiscal year, all schools provide me with that binder. The examples and pictures are right here. So mostly that's about it. We will do more trainings this year. I will do a lot of webinars and post it on the website, and I'll do face-to-face once we have that settled down and you're back in the schools and we have all Title I coordinators assigned. I really don't know how many are returning back and everything. We are waiting on some leaders to complete the survey. But we will do face to face, but this is recorded and it will be posted on the bookshelf for you all to review anytime you want to. But anytime I get a question like, hey, I need this, my first question will be, has anyone watched the webinar? Once this webinar is posted on the bookshelf, you will see there will be a survey where you go and say, I watched the webinar. So it's a simple click, I watched the webinar. It really helps me to know that the school has met the requirement, at least watching the webinar, so we can have further conversations. So just want to let you know, thank you so much. If you have joined the webinar, we will do more follow-up webinars. And if you have any questions, you have my information. Call, email, and we'll answer any questions that you have. Thank you.